Good evening. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. How is everyone doing this evening? Oh my goodness, y'all. This day went by so fast. I felt like I just talked to y'all this morning, but it went by so fast. So I'm so excited for you all to join me. I went live just a little bit earlier to make some adjustments. And so if you're not here, I hope you will catch the replay. Let's see who we have in here so far. Hey, Shelly Shell. Thank you, sis. Welcome. Hey, Aries Black. Thank you for joining, sis. Hey, Queen Dree. I think I just saw y'all. Y'all using y'all card, YouTube card to come on up. Oh my goodness. Y'all, if you can hit the like button and share. I know some people probably thought we were going later. So I wanted you all, if you can, to hit the like button and share the live. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Many of you already have probably heard of this story with Michelle Loud. Okay. Her son, Jason. Hey, Critical. Thank you so much for joining, sis. Right. I appreciate that, Queen Dree. And her son, Jason, is with the daughter of Bishop T.D. Jakes, Cora Jakes. Okay. And hold on one second. Yes, y'all, Critical, we enjoyed your live. I hope. I was trying to wait to end. It's just like a mutual respect type of thing for content creators. Sometimes our time slots kind of clash, but I really enjoyed your live, sis. But her son Jason is with the daughter of Bishop T.D. Jakes, Cora Jakes, and Michelle really has been for the past years, okay, have been trying to get custody of her son again. Because there was a court case and it's now sealed. She's been working to try to get that case unsealed because allegedly there are some things that were not done properly, and so forth. And so before we get into the update, because she recently had an update around Jason's birthday. Hey, Tiff, Break Room 411 is in the house. Yes, sis. Oh my gosh. My stomach was hurting on that live. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And so I wanted to show you all. She came to the open book previously. I think it was, let's see, this interview update was actually this year. So I wanted to kind of show a little bit of that because some of you may just need a little background as far as, well, how did Cora Jakes get Michelle's son? Okay, a lot of people have many questions, and I suggest, even if you haven't already, to follow Michelle. She's on Facebook under Michelle Loud, and then I believe she doesn't really come on YouTube too much, but I know on Facebook she shares a lot of different updates. If you are open to following this story, but before we go into the conversation, let me show you all a tidbit of the interview that we did recently. Welcome, Healing Hearts. Thank you for joining us tonight. Okay, here we go.
But I didn't I didn't take that as that at first. When she said I'll be there to help you, I'm thinking me, my children, not just my baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not
We
knowing
need
that,
help.
because when she asked Ashley before if I wanted to give my baby up for adoption, I said no. I've always said no. I've
Wow.
always said no, because just because I don't want to be pregnant don't mean I don't want my baby. If I'm pregnant, god damn it, I'm freaking pregnant. I'm mad as hell. I don't want to be pregnant right now. But we as mothers know that as your belly grows, as you
Yes.
that baby moves. See, she don't understand it.
Right. Because nobody walks around when you're pregnant. That's most women. You're like, oh Lord, I just want to get some sleep. You don't just say I enjoy going through this morning sickness or I
You
enjoy
don't know.
all of that. You want your child.
Especially if you don't have a partner, especially
Oh
when
my
you don't have
God.
somebody there for you, pushing
Hmm.
on and everything. You yes, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and she don't understand that because she's never carried a child. So
Yes.
you don't know what it is to feel a baby. And that's not to discredit women that cannot have children or that struggle having children. We're not talking about y'all. We're
Right.
talking about this person in particular. So don't get what I'm saying misconstrued, and don't take it wrong, and do not take what I'm saying out of context. Don't
Right.
come for me if you're not gonna listen to everything that I'm saying. It is a fact that if you cannot bear children, you will never know what it feels like to carry a child.
Right.
Okay. So as a woman, when you feel that baby growing and you feel that baby moving,
Hmm.
you're not gonna wanna you're not gonna wanna you're not gonna always feel like you don't want to be pregnant.
Right.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm. I
Um
get it.
so I don't even know why she thought that I don't even know why she thought that it was okay to even begin to think that you could play with me just because I was in a bad state and dealing with postpartum depression and depression. Because a mother is always gonna want her child.
Right.
If she's in an unhealthy state of mind or if she's in an unhealthy place, once she gets healthy,
Right.
she's gonna want she's gonna want her baby.
And a lot of people go through, a lot of women, I should say, go through postpartum depression. It's not
Yeah.
talked about a lot. I even talked about it in my book. I went through that and I was going through grief at the same time. It did
Hmm.
not mean that I didn't want my son, but there was a part of me, it took a while for us to bond. And it's a whole mental thing. It's hard to even explain. But I got when Michelle was talking about that in the video, I understood what she meant by that. And so don't get that confused like she didn't want her baby. But when you have been through postpartum depression, there is a part of you that it may take a while for you to bond. You go through so many emotions and things of that sort. So I understood that. I got that. Reading some of the comments too. Media. And so with that, just to kind of give you, I'm glad that Michelle had brought that up. She was going through financial issues during that time. She had 3 children already during that time. Things she explained that things were just not, um, all the way copacetic with her mom during that time, with her child's father. These are things that she has explained, and so she went knowing that Cora was her friend, and this is based off of Michelle's story. She told her, she just needed help, and during that time, she was explaining that she needed help with resources, but at the same time, like she just said, she was going through postpartum depression, and y'all, that is a real thing, okay? But that does not necessarily mean that you don't want your child, okay? it's a lot emotionally, and a lot of women deal with this, y'all. So it was nothing to be ashamed of or think you're crazy if you had a baby and gone through that, or if you're going through that right now. It is normal. And there are different things that you can do to help with that. So I'm glad that that part of the conversation, because I've noticed in several comments with other videos that people are like, well, why did she give her child away? And if she didn't want to have a baby and all of this stuff, well, then why, so people, we have to know where people's mental is and what they are dealing with when certain situations are happening. Okay. So that's kind of like a little background as far as where her mental state was during this time right after having a baby. The chat room said it can be like a mental illness.
It is a temporary mental illness, because that's exactly what it is. Because it's your mind that's telling you all of these things, right?
Right.
You're depressed. You have detachment issues. You're lonely. What's around you is dirt. Just like depression is depression is mental. It's not. That's what it is.
Right.
It falls under those lines. So
I agree.
She definitely took advantage.
So then, during that time, in some of your interviews, you've shared that you stayed with her for a little while she helped. Is that correct? With Jason, when you had Jason?
No, I visited her for 2 weeks.
Visited
her. After I had Jason, I visited her for 2 weeks. That's in 2014. I did not move into her home until January of 2016. So my son was turning 2 years old. They comments and people and sending this story. I don't know. What is he? What is you talking about?
Oh, the postpartum.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Hashtag Dr. Jackie. Yeah, because Dr. Jackie, she knows about that. She's on the thing with Black women and pregnancy. She's from Merit to Medicine. And we actually watch that show here and talk about it on Mondays, y'all, if you're out here and want to come back. Oh, okay. Media chat room was saying Cora had a mental illness, allegedly.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can say.
I'm gonna say allegedly because, baby, I don't have time for them trying to come for me.
I ain't saying allegedly because it's documented.
According to Michelle, she said it's documented.
It is.
So, but
we can't lie about it. Now, come on now.
And you know what?
She ain't sued me.
I wanted to pause for a second. I totally agree, Chosen One. That topic does need more attention. Postpartum depression, because it can just sneak up on you, just like grief comes in waves and things of that sort. Hey, Queen Steph, thank you for joining, sis. Welcome. I totally agree. There are some things that need more awareness, even when y'all, and I know this trigger warning, so let me put that out there. For women who have had a miscarriage, there are some things when you go through that need to be brought. I think more needs to be done with the care of when it happens, like when you go to the hospital, how that's handled. And in my book, The Common Thread, I talked about that, my experience, and how I just don't feel like one of those situations, because I had two, how it was handled properly. These are things that a lot of women deal with, but we really don't talk about some of the things and the emotions and the effects that go with it, because it was such a taboo topic back in the day, if y'all understand. But now more and more people are talking about it and getting the needed help. And so I totally agree, sis. Welcome, Annette. Thank you for joining. The strength of a woman, especially during and after birth, can be undervalued. Our bodies and minds go through extreme levels of change. Yes, I totally agree. Welcome, Amanda. Yes, sis. Welcome back. Oh my gosh, we missed you. Welcome back, Amanda. I've been catching you over in the YouTube streets, other places. But I'm happy to have you back over here.
Yeah, and claim She claimed it's because I got 4 of the kids. It ain't no
Uh-huh.
way in hell a woman coming out saying that I took her child and I didn't take her child and I care about I'm suing you. I don't care about nothing. Because you are defaming me and you are telling lies on me and you are destroying my character, my business, affecting my income, my family. I'm
Right.
suing you.
See, I mean, my thing
I don't
is,
care if you ain't got no money. I'm still suing you.
and all of that plays a part. I mean, if
Can't,
it's a
can't
mental
do it.
illness, and you talked about that even in the intro video, you talked about how the mental part when she brought when y'all went to court and things of that sort, that wasn't allowed to be put in there about her mental state and so forth.
Yes, not that it wasn't allowed. When we asked for her medical records, and see, my lawyer should have subpoenaed them since she didn't give them to the court when the court asked for them.
Okay.
That's what he should have did. Because she didn't turn in her medical history. She didn't turn in her income either, her pay income either.
Wow.
Her nor her husband at the time.
So, okay, go back to that part that you were just talking about. You had Jason, so let's kind of get to the how custody and court ended up with
I
Jason.
had Jason. I left the hospital. I went to visit Cora for over there with Cora for 2 weeks. I breastfed Jason, so there's
Welcome everyone. Those of you just entering the chat, what we're doing is we're getting just a little background from an interview I did with Michelle a couple of months ago, actually. Probably about 2 or 3 months ago, about 3 months ago. And we're because some people are new to this story, and so I love to give people a little background first before we come forward with the update. Okay, that part is about to come, but I wanted y'all to know how Cora got Jason. This is just a small snippet, okay? This story, I mean, if you've seen Michelle Lau's interviews, it is so complex. It has layers to some of the things that took place. So I'm just showing some of how this transpired first.
no way that I could just leave him. So people saying that he been there since birth. No, there's no way. He was a breastfed, and I didn't pump milk in a bag and put it in the freezer. I put him on my titty.
Right. You had to do that.
Yes. I wasn't that breastfed feeding mom. I'm not finna pump into no milk bags. I'm just gonna when my breast fill up, come here, come get on. That's
Right.
it. I don't have that. I got other kids I gotta get to. I can't be sitting in one spot all day like that. So absolutely the media chat room. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna sue your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you got money or not. You gonna stop defaming my name because I'm not lying. I'm not lying, and they can't sue me. If they sue me, a can of worms gonna open, and they don't want that.
Right.
But anywho, so yeah, so we left from there. We went to my mom's house. We was there for about after I left Cora's house, I went to my mom's house, and that's where I was staying. And Cora was just supposed to be helping me with Jason. Um, my mom was helping me with my other 3, and Cora's supposed to be helping me with Jason.
Okay.
So um when I needed to work or shortly after I had Jason, I had got a job. And I was working a warehouse job and I was working like 12-hour shifts.
Okay.
So she would help me watch Jason. So if I like worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, she would have Jason. I'll be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would have Jason. Or if it alternated or whatever my work days was.
Okay.
And so about July 2014 comes, she comes to me and tells me that it's not good for Jason to be bouncing back and forth like that.
So
Although if I was working those 12 hours and had him in daycare, I would just be picking him up from daycare at the end of the day versus him being with you consecutively, for 3 days out of the week. But what I didn't know was the more she watched him for me, the more she became obsessed with having him. And so the more that she became obsessed with having him, the more evil her plan got, the more she started to put in place things to manipulate, things to coerce, things to put me under duress, get more information out of me as she could. 2 months after I had Jason, that's what she said, he can't be moving around like that. So this is what I suppose, whatever. And I'm just like, what? What do you mean you can't keep moving around? I said, Court, no, we're not doing that. We're gonna keep doing what we doing, or whatever. So that conversation took place, and about maybe a week or so later, she wrote up this thing with for me to sign. And what she told me was it was for for her to be able to take Jason to the doctor and some other things, but it wasn't once I read it when we was going to court, what she told me what that it was for, it wasn't. I'm gonna get to what it was.
Okay, so there are, I don't know if any of you know about this, some of you may. There are forms like, say, for example, if you can't like temporarily take care of your child, or if you're going out of town and you're leaving your child, there are forms that you can fill out that gives that person the right and the ability and the authority to be able to take your child to school or the hospital, things of that sort. And so that's what Michelle thought she was signing. Okay. Like one of those forms, not necessarily a form to give you custody, but a form to give you access to be able to take my child to the doctors, and because they ask for those type of forms if you're not the parent. And so that's what she thought she was signing during that time. Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you. Because some people were questioning that in
yeah.
the chat.
So I'm gonna get to what it was. I don't even see the chat. I'm just telling the story, chat.
Not on this one.
Oh, so then in 2018, cause I got the papers.
I'm glad.
Okay, cause then that was 2014, July 2014, September 2014. I'm giving you a timeline. Had my baby May 2014, July 2014. She's having me sign paperwork. July, August, September. 2 months later, she's having me sign more paperwork, and she's telling me that she forgot to put something in the first paperwork along the lines of him being able to travel with her or go to the doctor with him. Okay, whatever. I signed it. The first time I think we was at the UPS store. The second time I don't remember where it was, but it was a notary. So I signed it. I'm not reading it. I'm trusting what she's saying. Okay. That was September 2014. September, August, September, October, November. By November and December, she had amped up the leaning into my ear about adoption, about giving my baby up for adoption, about what did I think about adoption, how did I feel about adoption. She started amping up the God told me you had that baby for me. Wow. Every time I would say, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not giving my baby up for adoption. I even wrote her a letter.
Okay.
I wrote her a letter. I read the letter on one of my lives. I wrote her a letter telling her,
I just have to pause for a second. Healing Hearts, you're all the way from the UK. Oh my goodness, welcome. I'm just so excited to hear that. I saw that in the chat. Y'all, we have someone in here from the UK. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Listen, I know that I could give him up and he might, grow up in a better place, better environment, whatever. I said, but he's my responsibility. I'm paraphrasing what I said because it's a long letter. I might post it, but I have read it online.
Okay.
But I said you know, I could do all of those things, but he's my responsibility. He's my child. God entrusted him with me. God gave him to me, which
Right.
means he's not discouraged in me yet. And I want to raise my child. I want to raise all five, well, four at the time. I want to raise all four of my children. And I said, hopefully God will bless your womb that you may produce, you
Mm.
know, but I want my son. Okay. She didn't like that shit.
Ooh. So did she get a copy of that letter?
I emailed it to her.
So oh my goodness.
Yes.
So I'm curious to know. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish because I want to
And
know
you
how
know
that
what?
played a part.
In the first trial, my lawyer did not even submit that email into evidence for me.
See, that's what I wanted to know. Why didn't that come into
It's a
play?
lot of things that my lawyer didn't do that he should have done if he was really fighting for me, which
Mhm.
makes me believe he was never fighting for me. That he was fight. I think in the beginning he was,
Wow.
and I think they got to him.
Ooh. I was wondering about that. When you said that, I was like, well, does she have a copy? I mean, did they admit that into court? How did that play a part? So they never.
Okay, I got the receipt with the date.
Wow. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Okay.
I told her that. So now I'm to
Mm-mm.
the point where I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Mind you, I'm not mentally strong. I'm
Mhm.
in full fledged postpartum depression. I am a highly functional depressed person.
Right.
Okay. And those are people who you would never know are dealing with a darkness, unless you're in that inner circle.
Hmm.
They'll go outside, you think they're uh jolly and everything like that, and then the next day you might find them dead from suicide, you
Yeah.
know so. But Cora knew because I would talk to Cora.
So she knew a lot of your secrets
She knew
and
a lot of my
yeah.
secrets. She knew a lot of my shameful parts, and she preyed on those and used those to her advantage as well. So then she amps it up. Then she starts asking me if she could pay me for my child. And I
Hmm.
tell her no. Then she asked me, well, can we pay? I said no, and I don't think his dad will go for that either. But I'm saying that in hopes that she'll just drop it.
Yeah. Just give you your child back too.
No, I had my child then.
Oh, at that time. Okay.
I just
Okay.
hoping that she'll just drop her
Hmm.
constantly asking me or sending me stuff about adoption and open adoption.
Okay, and that shows because I know that's a question, and some people were getting that piece of information wrong in some different places. So they offered to pay, okay, but Michelle has stated that she did not accept payment. Okay, so that's two different things because a lot of people were saying she sold her baby, and that's giving out false information. Y'all was in one person's chat one day, and this guy, he was actually the guest, but he was like on the phone, so we couldn't see who it was or whatever. And he was saying that, y'all, I'm all up in the chat. That is false information. Like, sir, do your research or go ask Michelle in one of her lives. She'll tell you, okay, don't just continue to put out like the wrong narrative. I know, Amanda, Amanda, you still don't. I remember that, sis. Okay, okay, so this was before.
She wanted to do an open adoption with me.
Wow. Now, why couldn't she just adopt
Why couldn't you just ask me to be your surrogate?
or surrogate? That's another option. Yeah.
She wouldn't even have to pay me. I
Wow.
would I would have I would have carried a baby for Corey. I wouldn't have had sex with your husband to do so. But I would have carried, because I would presume if you're married, you don't produce eggs, or your eggs cannot, they don't work. So then you have to use my eggs. But I would have been a surrogate for Cora. She did not have to do what she did.
Right.
We had too much history. We've been friends since we were girls,
Mm-hmm.
before we had cycles.
Wow.
You
And you know,
know,
Candy Burris, she did that. You know, she
a
couldn't have.
lot of women have surrogates. Kim Kardashian
Yeah.
had one child and said she ain't getting pregnant no more, and every last other kid was a surrogate. You
Right.
have a lot of parent mothers who cannot carry, but maybe their eggs produce, so they go and get a surrogate. You have mothers that cannot carry, who eggs don't produce, but their husband is producing, so they go and get a
Yes.
surrogate. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have mothers that just can't have mothers, so they have to adopt. But then you also have mothers who can't have children, who eggs are not good, and they can't legally adopt.
Right.
Or it's the latter of all of those.
Wow. Okay, I wanted to say thank you to Measure Man. He said this is why we are getting doctors to get on platforms to explain what postpartum syndrome is on Michelle's behalf. We get people might some people may not get it. Yeah, I get what he's saying. Okay, so some people may not understand what really goes into that postpartum depression, because a lot of people may say, man, how could she not want her child, or and that's not what you're saying. So they're getting that part twisted, like you gave your son over to Cora because you did not want him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so that's a good point. Thank you so much, Measured Man. Let's see. Okay, you can continue, Michelle. I'm sorry, I was reading some other comments too.
Oh,
No, she doesn't have her child yet. Someone asking that question. We're getting to that part too. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Hit the like button, everyone.
I finally know who that is.
You know who it is.
Yes.
He knows you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I know Dallas is their territory, but a hungry journalist needs to write a story. They be investigators high key.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But you have to get the right ones, because like Michelle said, her lawyer, they could have been paid off. Some are
Yeah.
afraid, because y'all have to think also. And this is, I mean, really, really think about this. You are going up against a family, okay, that is a very well-known family, has a lot of power,
Amen.
money, and influence. Okay. So I applaud Michelle for even coming forward, because y'all, I'm telling you, a lot of people will be afraid. Okay, that no one will believe them, that this is not going to go anywhere. But over the course of these years, she has not allowed that to stop her. Okay, and that's why I stand with her, because at this point, y'all, I feel like we almost to the finish line. Like, I feel an excitement that God is about to do this thing.
Oh, girl, me too.
I feel it, Michelle. I'm so serious. Like, I am so serious. And I'm gonna just put a paper clip. Can we just pause for a second? I'm just about to be real talk, y'all. This is the open book. Someone approached me not too long ago, I think about a week ago. Well, a little over a week ago. And they said, be careful covering the Michelle Loud story. And I said, well, why? And really couldn't give me reasons. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna continue to pray about it. And I started explaining my why behind why I'm doing this. Okay. Because not everyone understands. For one, I understood the mother perspective. And when I saw that video, I understood that part. I understood the postpartum part. But what people don't understand is I was also at that level of, who is this? Okay. So I'm not just going to jump into something without watching, observing, hearing the facts, things of that sort. And over the course of these years, I have followed Michelle and watched interview after interview. Because y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I have an ear, and I've been trying to figure stuff out, like, is it true? And all of this. And I'm like, every time, y'all, and some of y'all are in the chat that have also been following her. Every interview, the story is consistent. And Michelle has stated that the truth, how do you say it, Michelle, about the truth?
Oh, it flow like water.
Yes. Okay. And it can stand on its own or
It
something.
can stand on its own. The
It
truth
can stand on its
stands
own.
on its own.
Okay. And so, y'all, this is why. And so I feel this thing like seriously over the course, and we're going to get to some of the things that have happened, like some good things, okay, that have happened along leading us up until the current time since this last 2022. And so, okay, Michelle, so we were getting okay, so that video, if you want to watch it in its entirety, is on my channel. You can continue to watch that one because she did give us more information. But I wanted to first, before we listen to some of the recent good news, I wanted to first give you all, those of you who weren't familiar with the story, a chance to hear some of the background. Okay, but that full interview is on my open book channel, and you can go back and watch it in its entirety. So I remember last year, probably, yeah, it was around the same time in May. Michelle was supposed to have a birthday party, and she did have everything set up. She had decorations. They had rented a facility, and I remember I was going to. It was a church conference that night, and she said, "Y'all come back because I'm going to do a live for Jason's birthday." So after church, I rushed to the car because it was right around that time. And lo and behold, when I watched the live, it wasn't what I expected. Um, Jason was not brought to the facility, and his family, you know, Michelle and her family, her friends were there waiting. And to hear the pain, not just in Michelle's cry, but also her children's cry, it broke my heart because they had looked forward to that moment because they hadn't seen him in a long time. Okay. Now, within the span of that weekend, Michelle, and it on here on my screen, the picture on the right, okay, she was invited to a birthday party that the Jakes were having for Jason. At first, Michelle was not going to go to that birthday party, but she said, you know, she had talked to, y'all know Larry Reed. Okay, a lot of y'all probably know him, but he kind of talked to her and said that, you know, just make sure that you're sure because you don't want to have any regrets. And so she did end up going and being able to spend time with her son. Yes, Amanda, it was so sad. She was able to go and spend time with her son. So that was last year. So let's fast forward to this year. So this year, right before Jason's birthday, Michelle, and it's only normal because she is his mom. Okay. So his birthday is going to be a trigger, especially if your son is not with you and he's here on the earth, but not living with her, you know, at the moment, is going to bring up some different emotions. Okay. And so she kind of took a break, but then she came back, y'all. Okay. I believe it was the day after his birthday with some news. So let's take a look. As soon as I get to it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here it is.
Hi, Virginia. Yes, if y'all want to if y'all want to help get his gifts for his birthday, y'all can donate through Cash App Living First. But we gonna get into that. I guess I go ahead and start, and people just come in. Um, you guys, guess what? Guess what? Guess what, y'all? I hate to need you early. I'm just now starting. So I want to hear, oh, I'm late. I'm just not starting. Jason's actual birthday was yesterday. Yesterday was very hard, of course, because it's his birthday. A couple days before that was my dad's birthday. Many of y'all know my dad died when I was 10 years old. So May is a bit of a rough month for me. A rough month for me.
So I was down a lot this month, just mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I had I had more down days than I had up days. But, you know, you just got to get up and you got to keep pushing. You got to keep moving. You got to keep praying. And you got to keep going. And I was praying over the weekend. And I just said, Lord, I know I probably won't get to see him, but I just really want to talk to him. Would you please just soften her heart a little bit where I can talk to him on his birthday? So his birthday comes yesterday, 12 o'clock. I call him at 12 o'clock. I know I'm not going to get an answer at 12 o'clock in the morning, but I couldn't not call. I just couldn't help it. So I called and I left a voicemail and then I left a message. And I was just like, okay, he might come. She might let him. She might let him.
She had muted for a second, y'all. She had gotten a phone call. That's why it's no sound.
She Am I still muted? I was trying to comment, but it's not letting me comment. Am I still muted? Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you, Michelle.
Okay. So I called at midnight. Of course, I didn't get an answer. I wasn't expecting to get an answer. But it was not going to be said that I didn't call, like I didn't try. And so I was like, okay, at that point, I just left it to God to, sort through and, you know, bring it, full circle for me. So I waited till the kids got out of school, and as they had settled down, and we called probably like around 8 o'clock. Yeah, I was not expecting to get an answer. I just knew I wasn't going to get an answer. I was already prepared to not get an answer. I was This is how I know God really does hear my prayers. If I didn't know before, I knew. I called, I'm like, okay, he probably not going to answer. Yeah, my baby answered that phone, and it was him on the phone. My heart fell into my stomach. Like, I can't describe the feeling. I can't put into words what took over me. Because as y'all know, I have not talked to him. I have not heard from him since July of last year. So, I mustered up the strength not to cry because I wanted to have a conversation with him. Right? Praise God. Amen. My baby answered the phone. He was like, hello, 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 hello. And I'm like, Jason? He was like, hey. And I said, I love you. He said, I love you too. I said, I miss you. He said, I miss you too. I said, happy birthday, son. He said, thank you. He said again, he said, I've missed you. I said, oh, I'm about to cry, son. And we talked about school, and we talked about his teachers. We talked about the game he was playing. And he kept thinking of stuff he wanted to tell me. He had so much. It was like he had so much to say. You know, he had so much that he wanted to get out. Um, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry. He had so much to say. He had so much to talk about. You know, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk and not cry. He was really happy to be on the phone with me. He was really happy to talk to me. He wanted to tell me about everything that had been going on since the last time we spoke. He's excited about basketball and being able to play this summer. He wants me to come to his games. And I told him that if I'm, you know, allowed to come, I'll be there. And I asked him what he wanted for his birthday. And he said, well, I really wanted to see you guys. And it just almost broke me down.
Y'all, that part there. Oh Lord, I gotta take a break for a second. Whew. I mean, imagine, it's like Michelle has been fighting for a long time. And y'all, I give her props. And I know it's God that's keeping her to be strengthened throughout the process. Because when we go through a process and we know we've prayed for something and we believe in God for something, it doesn't always just happen immediately. There's a middle to all of that. And we never know what's going to happen in that middle. She's had some good moments, where she's seen her son, she's gotten a chance to see him, talk to him more. And now once again, here's another birthday, which has to be a reminder that he is getting older and things of that sort. So I felt it just crushed my heart. At the same time, I was happy for her, but hearing this part, my heart goes out to her because she's fighting, y'all. She is. She's not giving up. And she has said that and I'm glad that Amanda said this also in the chat, that he's getting older and he eventually he's gonna see all of this. Okay, all of the ways that his mom has tried to fight for him, the videos, the interviews, on both parts, on both sides. And that's why I do believe and wish that even now, if there is some way to at least let him bond with his mom again, like even if it's like, okay, maybe a weekend or so, a month, you can go and visit your mom, or if we got to meet up together somewhere, let him have that time. This baby wanted to see his family, his siblings for his birthday. Okay. And so, when she broke down and cried, it just really made me cry. But I felt her heart, y'all. This is the part that people don't see. Okay. They see, she shouldn't have given away her child, and trying to, just judge and don't really know what you're talking about. First of all, get the facts straight. Okay. And then when you have to see the pain of a mother that wants to be with her child, but no one wants to speak up, no one wants to say it's wrong, no one wants, at least give her a fair shot. I wish they would unseal the record so that she could get a fair chance. Like she just explained on the interview, there were some things that were not done properly. She was younger too, y'all. She was younger at this time. And so I can only imagine, sometimes you can feel defeated. You're going up against a very influential family, power, money, all of that. But God is bigger than everything. Okay? And that's the part that is keeping her, is she know that God is with her. Let's look at some of the comments. Open book, bless you. I stand with you as well. Sis, thank you, chosen one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Thank you for being on here. I can see your comments. And I can tell you have the heart like I have too. It's just so sad that people, and I can say that more and more content creators, though, are interviewing Michelle and really hearing her story. So I am glad that her story is getting out more and more. Oh, it's okay, chosen one. Yes, sis. I'm just like, I just hate it. I just really hate the situation of how it's being handled now. We can fix things, like what is it gonna hurt? So we'll talk about that. Hey, Miss Mill, thank you for joining, sis. Okay, look, eat your snack. I know that's right. Just don't leave us. Thank you, Healing Hearts. She is not alone. We are warring in the spirit. Come on, chosen one. Yes. Okay. And look, did you hear how she said she prayed to God that God would touch her heart? Baby, God can turn, okay, the heart of men to soften it, y'all, or to harden it. Baby, God softened her heart. He has the power to do that. See, I didn't think about that, Amanda. Okay, public events are coming. Is he in sports and so forth? And she signed documents under duress. Yes, she has stated duress and coercion. Right. They know that, Amanda. I totally agree. They know that. Hey, Lolo. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining. Yes. Okay, let's continue. I just was like, whoo, let's swoop south for a second.
Because I always say, it doesn't matter how long you've been there. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you've given, what try of narrative you try to put in place. He's going to always love me and long for me. It's something that you can't sever. It's something that you can't break. And he's going to always want to, his siblings as well, And every time I talk to him, it's the same. And I was like, Jason, I love you. You know that, right? And he goes, Mom, I know you love me. I love you too. Yeah. Moments like that is just, it's bittersweet. But I did get to talk to him. And we talked for about an hour. And then I guess they was doing the cake. And she called for him to come down. So he had to get off the phone. I told him that I was going to try to call him today, which I probably will when I get off live. But yeah, I know people have been asking me, like, have I talked to him? Have I talked to him? And it's been the same. I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to him in over a year. And it had been like just really weighing me down, just trying to keep your strength to keep going and to keep pushing, keep fighting. And, you know, I finally got to talk to him yesterday. And I know it's his birthday, but that was such a gift to me. And this morning, you know, I woke up different. I woke up smiling. I woke up a little bit more happy. I'm so glad I got to talk to him too. Hey, Mama Queen. So, you guys, yes, I did get to talk to Jason for his birthday. I have been praying all year for that. Like, Lord, please, if I don't get to see him, if I don't get to physically see him, can I please just hear his voice? Can I please just talk to him? And yeah. He said he always wants to see me. He always wants to talk to me. He was telling me about things that was going on in school and how he wanted more black teachers. He only had 2 black teachers at the school that he's at, and that's why he doesn't like it. He wants to have more black teachers. And I told him, well, son, there's nothing wrong with that. We definitely need representation of who we are, even in our educational system. You know, Jason is really funny. He was telling jokes. He told a joke about how the dude, some boy at school called him a jerk. And, look, Erica, called him a jerk. And Jason responded and said, well, you must be Christmas because, and I said, well, son, why you say that? And he was like, because, Mom, his face was scrunched up like the Grinch. I thought that was funny. I said, you're funny. Because, Mom, his face was scrunched up like the Grinch. So I said, you must be Christmas, the Grinch that stole Christmas. That was funny. I said, oh, okay. You got a little funny gene in you, like your mama. Right, period. Ain't left no crumbs. I said, that's right, son. Don't let nobody bully you. Don't let nobody bully you. So he was like, yeah, I couldn't wait to tell you that. I said, that's good, son. I said, you ain't did nothing wrong. You ain't said nothing wrong. You ain't said nothing wrong. I said, I probably wouldn't even never thought of that one. He close. He's close. He's close to Cedar Hill, but he's not in Cedar Hill. Yeah, he definitely got his mama humor. He was cracking so many jokes on the phone, which was crazy because the last time we talked about somebody trying to bully him, he felt like, he didn't know what to do, whatever, woo-woo-woo. So I told him, I said, the first time, this was like a year ago, I said, somebody trying to bully you, you take that power back and you flip it around and you do it with confidence. Don't let nobody bully you. If they cracking jokes, you crack jokes back. If they look like they finna hit you, you knock their ass out. I told him that a year ago. And so when that situation happened, he said, I couldn't wait to tell you. I couldn't wait to tell you what happened. I miss you too, Shakima. Yes. So he was like, I couldn't wait to tell you what happened. He said, I remember what you said. I remember what you told me. Don't let nobody bully me. Don't let nobody punk me. Yep.
Y'all, but do you hear, even in this conversation that they had, do you hear the bond though? You know, God is still, I mean, hey, he may not be home yet, but if you just think of, I mean, a mother's heart and their child, like I just hear as she's talking that bond that they have. Like he said, I remember that you talk, like, you know, that just really made me smile because he's been listening to his mom. He even has her sense of humor, you know, and so we got to praise God for the small steps. Okay, this is big though for them to be able, and I think I don't know if she's going to say it on the snippet that I took, but she said that Cora obviously was in a different place from where they were talking, so he had free reign to just talk to his mom freely. And that is a huge step. Okay. I was like, you better bun. Okay, I love it. I love it, y'all.
So I got a reason to smile today, you know? I got to talk to my son. I went to sleep crying, but it wasn't like tears of like sorrow and pain. It was more so tears of like joy and happiness that I got to talk to him. Because that has been a depressive thing for me, not being able to talk to Jason. So happy birthday again, son. I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm always here, even when it seems I'm not. I've always been here. I've always been around. Yes.
Whew, y'all, that thing there, she's always been here and she'll always be around. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, this thing at the end when she said that, I was like, yes, a mother's love. And child of God, since you done missed the line, I did. If you could catch the replay, it's not just a long video. But I showed like a little portion of an interview, and I have the full interview on my under my lives that we did a couple of months ago. But Cora Jakes has Michelle Loud's son, and Michelle, she did not think that she was signing over custody. And it's a whole story, but recently she was able to at least speak with her son. She has seen him last year after a couple of years, and so recently she was able to talk to him for his birthday. We're believing God that Jason will come home because she has been in this fight for some years to get her son back. And so it is, yes, this story has layers. And let's continue to keep Michelle covered in prayer. We have some prayer warriors. I can tell even in this chat that God will work this thing out. Okay. And that it'll work out in her and Jason's favor. And you know what? Even Cora's favor. Okay. Because there's nothing wrong with desiring a child. It's all about how we do things, though. How Michelle explained that earlier. Okay. And so we just want to make sure to keep her lifted. We are seeing God move, as you can tell. He's moving. Okay. Chosen One said King Solomon taught us a lesson: victory of truth over lies. Cora could never understand the bond between Jason and his mom. You're right. Never. Okay. That is a bond that is unbreakable. Your child has heard your heartbeat from the inside. They know your voice. Okay. Call it as, yes, let's call it forward that Jason is coming home, y'all. I'm gonna continue to stand with Michelle, continue to speak that, and we know by faith, okay, this thing will happen. If you did not catch the full live tonight, please go back and watch the replay because you can get some background if you're new to the story, and you can watch the full interview though on the Open Book Lives. Let's see, any other comments? Okay. Well, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining tonight. I appreciate you coming. Make sure you like the video if you have not subscribed, if you have not subscribed, and don't forget to come on back. Okay. We cover a variety of topics here at the Open Book. But I thank God for each and every one of you. Michelle, we love you. We're standing with you. And it is Bring Jason Home. Love you all. Have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.